I'm Andraya Carter, and I got next.
You next up and you ain't been on SportsLifeTalk. Like, what are you doing? Hey, you better hit him up. Look, you breaking it till you up next. Kings and queens go hard. Rise and star on the big scene. Make them know who you are. You don't break a sweat. Don't settle for less. They put you through that test. Your resume that flex. Who got next? Who got next? SLT, ready, set, go. Who got next? Who got next? Living my dreams and all your goals. Who got next? Who got next? You can ask 𝐤𝐤𝐤𝐿, our head coach. Who got next? Who got next? You next up, so here's my vote.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Sports Life Talks. You got next, a platform that gives exposure to the voices of tomorrow, real stories, real people, real conversation with amazing human beings who are doing big things and accomplishing big dreams. And today, oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, we got to dip off into what we like to call a dream guest. I mean, this young lady is phenomenal on the court, off the court, on the sidelines, in the booth, in the studio. I would like to if you ain't heard by now, wake up, get to the edge of your seat, grab a pillow, and just get ready to rock with us, because this is about to go down. Let me introduce you to ESPN's very own former Tennessee volunteer. I can hear Rocky Top playing in the backgrounds right now, ladies and gentlemen. We got Andraya Carter, but she gave us permission backstage. We could just call her Drea. What up, fam? How you doing, Drea?
What's up? Yes, definitely call me Drea. Dre, that's what all my teammates call me. That's what everybody calls me. I'm excited. Thank you for having me.
You excited? Oh my goodness. You excited. Hey, well, check this out. I am your host, the mouth of the South Beach Jones, the Louisiana animal, Mr. Yeet himself. I'm rocking alongside of my co-host, my partner in crime, my brother from another mother, the brains of the operation, the head coach KT. Cam, can you believe it?
B. Jones, we've only been talking about this for weeks, man.
It feels like it's been forever, man. We've been...
We got blessed on this one, and shout out to Coach Nestling for setting this up with us. And, you know, this is the second Tennessee alum that we had on the show.
I know, man. The little creamsicle is getting a little nauseating, but we're going to make it through another.
Wait, who was the first?
Casey Funderburg.
Okay.
You know what's Casey on the football side, you on the basketball side.
No, this is the third. I was talking about basketball.
Who was
Pillow. Coach Pillow.
Okay. That's right. You know Shalon Pillow?
Yep. Yes, I do. Yep.
Kim, did you think back in January when we started this little mission, we be, talking about these former alumni of University of Tennessee and just sitting here with, a future star. If they don't, did you ever think that this thing would be this, bro?
Well, B. Jones, now I gotta think about it. You are an LSU fan. I'm a Florida fan. Why we got so many Tennessee people coming on now? We need to rethink this.
Where we're supposed to be.
Yeah. I went to look back and see if Tennessee beat LSU when you were there. You got us once, though. You got us once. So, hey, well, check this out. If y'all are checking out the channel for the first time, we want to say thank you for stopping by. It means a ton to Kevin and I. We just mentioned how this journey has started and where we are now, and we can't do it without your love and your support and your admiration. But we also need a few little physical things from you, and that is we need that Clint currency, all right? We need you to smash that subscribe button and share this show with a friend. So on the count of 3, Vol Nation, all of y'all up there in, what is it, Bristol? ESPN, wherever y'all at. If you rocking with Andraya Carter, show us some love right now. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Boom. There it is. Kev, I can hear it all the way coming across the nation. Bing, bing, bing. It's like blowing up the airwaves right now, man. Well, listen, if you did decide to subscribe, we want to first and foremost say thank you. Welcome to the family. And second of all, we want to tell you congratulations, because we got an archive full of dope content. Almost 100 episodes of You Got Next with stories just like the one you got today. But without further ado, you've heard me run my mouth already. But man, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. Now, Drea, your folks, they clicked on the subscribe button. So they part of the SLT family. You, a little bit different. We got to take you through what we call the Sports Life Talks initiation. Are you ready?
I'm ready. All
right, KT, let's go. And Kev,
right.
Don't be nervous just because she's a professional, man. You go hard on her just like you go hard on everybody else.
Assume that I'm nervous, man. You're the one that's nervous doing all this talking. Let me do my thing. All right, Drea. So to initiate you into the SLT family, you got to give us your top 5 music artists.
Oh man. Okay, so this is hard because I have a very eclectic music taste. And like people say they have an eclectic music taste, but they really don't. Like as much as I do. Like my playlist will go from rap to really hard rock to country to classic to like just classical, like anyway. But if I had to pick a top 5, like who I really listen to the most, I listen to a lot of. It's hard. So the Black Keys are my favorite rock band. They're my favorite rock band. Saw them in person. I was blown away. Love their music. I listen to a lot of Pop Smoke. Like consistently. Like just I can play the songs kind of straight through. I think it's the deep voice. Rest in peace. Chance the Rapper. I run acid rap like through and through all the time. All right, so I've got Black Keys, Pop Smoke, Chance the Rapper. Probably have to go Brent Faiyaz. I listen to Brent. I listen to Brent a lot. And man, my 5th one. Who could it be? Her.
That's a nice little list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, for some reason, I thought you were going to say like Incubus or something. I don't know why. I just had a feeling you were going to say Incubus.
Bruh, do you even know anything about Incubus? You dropping Incubus like...
That's
I know some Incubus.
No,
I know
I'm
Incubus.
talking about him. Drea, I know you the truth. You the truth. You all world. I'm talking about my bro right here. You know something about Incubus?
That's my favorite alternative group.
Okay. I'm going to let you ride with it, Kev.
Here in my room, warning, wish you were here. They got a song called Dig. Do you need me to keep going?
You got it.
Okay.
You got it.
All right, bro.
I'm telling you in front of company trying to call me out all the time. All right, Drea, so who is your favorite sports teams and why?
Favorite sports teams? Obviously Atlanta. We're playing for the World Series right now. So I do cheer for the Braves. I don't think I'll ever work in Major League Baseball, so I feel very confident pulling for the Braves and like being an open Braves fan.
Yeah.
Although like Elle Duncan, you know, she works for Sports Center and she cheers for the Braves and the Hawks or whatever. So
I was about to say, she down with them Hawks hard.
She down with everybody.
Right. Exactly. I mean, Tennessee, the Atlanta Braves, I cheer for really hard. I don't really have like an NFL team. I really just cheer for my friends. So like whatever my friends are playing, I just kind of cheer for them as far as NFL goes. Basketball, NBA too. I just kind of cheer for people. I grew up a Warriors fan. It's random how I became a Warriors fan, but in my heart of hearts, I still cheer for the Warriors. So those would be my 3. Tennessee, Atlanta Braves, Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, it's safe to stay away from those Falcons, so that's a very good choice.
You can't be a Falcons. I was just telling someone the other day, they were like, you're not a Falcons fan? I'm like, you can't be a Falcons fan. It's painful.
Yeah, and that stadium is absolutely gorgeous.
It is.
I had the privilege of going by it, and I was like, I cannot believe, because I'm anti-Falcon, and I was jealous of that stadium. I was jealous.
Man, you should be. All right, Drea, so who is your favorite superhero and why?
My favorite superhero is honestly probably Spider-Man.
Oh, I'm not gonna spoil it.
Did you vote?
Bets behind stage. Yeah, we both.
Sad day for you. I like Spider-Man because I feel like he's really athletic, and I feel like just the sky and the jumping and the buildings and the scaling buildings and the like that stuff is just super cool. Like Batman has really cool technology, but like Spider-Man just, he just makes stuff happen. I like Spider-Man.
So Peter Parker or Miles Morales?
Peter Parker.
Okay, all right. So for this question, you're going to be Gwen Stacy, who is the female version of Spider-Man in that universe. So Gwen, since every good superhero needs their own theme music, what would your theme song be?
I think my theme song would be "Who Gonna Stop Me?" Jay-Z and Kanye West.
You can never go wrong with Jay-Z.
Exactly.
I mean, Kanye, he has his moments, but you can't go wrong with Jay-Z.
Okay, but that song goes hard. Like, who gonna stop me? Sometimes when I'm running, like if I'm running a distance, I'll put that song at the end because it just gets you going.
I love that song.
Well,
So
BJ,
good.
I think it's safe to say that she was going to be in the family anyway, but she's officially in the family, so take it away, man.
I thought she was going to say, what did you say? Ain't no more playing GA. That's what I thought was going to come out with some hard. I thought it was going to ring shop up in here.
I forgot about that, B. Jones. So we're going to tell you who we thought you were going to say for your superheroes.
Okay.
Who'd you have, B?
I said it was going to be Catwoman. I was going with that Halle Berry Catwoman, though.
That's not a bad choice.
And because we know that you love snakes, I was like, she's going to go different. She's going to say, I'm Medusa, just because of the snakes.
Well, let's just jump right on in on that, because that was definitely something I wanted to talk about. The snakes. Wait a damn minute now. Snakes? Drea? You know we don't do that. What's up with the snakes, sis?
You know, growing up, my biological dad had a pet snake, the same one that I have. I'm looking at him right now. He's in his tank. Same type that I had. Yeah, he's just right there. He could be on the podcast.
You know what? Why not?
Well, wait.
Go grab him. Yes, go grab the snake. We got to get the snake on the show.
Okay.
What's the name of the snake, Kev? Is it Zeus? Zeus? Is it Hercules?
Hercules.
I can't remember. I read it.
His name is nothing.
Dog, this is the first snake ever on the show.
And it'll probably be the last, because if that snake get on you, Dre, and you can't get him off, I don't know what we're going to do for you.
Yeah, but he's so chill. Come here. Let's see. Promise.
Hey, man, I can't mess with those snakes, Kev. I don't even know how she sleep. Oh. Hey.
He just chills, I promise. Like, he's super chill. I've had him for 9 years. I was like taking care of a few snakes at one point, like multiple, like 6, but they weren't mine. He's mine.
He nips at you anything?
Never.
I would have took a shovel to him. I'm not even gonna lie. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm over here praying like, God, let this go right on our show. We don't need her to get,
I promise, he's gonna chill like this. I mean, he'll move around and I'll just make adjustments. Yeah.
What's his name?
His name is Nothing.
Nothing.
Like capital N. You gotta capitalize it because that's his name.
That's crazy. Well, Nothing. Welcome to the show. I guess we our first SLT pet. We can live with it. All right.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Let's start this thing off. Flowery Branch. Did I say that right? Flowery Branch, Georgia.
Yes,
Tell us what it was like, because I saw you were ESPN top 21 player in the nation, AAU superstar, played on the U.S. Junior Olympic team. You were crazy. You was a hustler with these skills. So tell us a little bit about coming up out there in Flowery Branch and playing for Buford.
Man, so I grew up, I was born in Decatur, Georgia, grew up running around like Conyers, Lithonia, like all of my cousins, like that's where me and my mom lived. And then when she met my stepdad, we moved out. I started playing basketball, and like they were like, she needs to get to Gwinnett County. Like that's where all the basketball teams are. That's where the good coaches are or whatever. And so we found Buford, and we were actually trying to move into Buford, but Buford is like really small. Our house sold really fast. I was in middle school at the time. So the next closest thing that had houses at good prices, I guess, was Flowery Branch. So I lived in Flowery Branch, but I did not go to Flowery Branch High School. I don't claim Flowery Branch. I think they're the Falcons. Don't claim them ever. But went to Buford. Buford was a big just football, basketball, softball, like the sports was just a big deal. Like our softball team won like 10 state championships in a row. Football won football won like 6, 7, 8 championships in a row. Like the literary team. It was just a school that like, if you're not in Buford, everybody else hates Buford. Like that's the kind of like, no one likes Buford at all unless you went to Buford. But it was great. Like,
y'all wasn't whooping the brakes off of them in the literary competitions, right?
I swear, yes.
Spelling bee trophies and everything.
Everything,
God,
yeah.
Man, that's great. So when did you fall in love with basketball? Like, I mean, it sounds like you embraced competition at a high level, all the way up even to your college years. You went to a Power 5. I mean, we talking about one of the greatest universities to play college football or college basketball. You ain't never been scared. So when did you realize you was a dog with basketball?
Basketball honestly was pretty early. Like, I loved it. I started playing when I was 4, so I loved it like immediately. I honestly never played anything else. Sometimes I regret that. I wish I would have like tried other things, but I tried track for like 1 year and I hated it. But basketball, like my Nana and I grew up watching Candace and watching Catch and watching Tennessee. I read all of Pat's books. So like growing up, I was just a Tennessee kind of fanatic. My room was blue, my bathroom was orange. Got really serious about it in, I don't know, I would say like elementary, early middle school. One of my coaches was like, she needs to play 2 years up. And like once I started playing 2 years up, I think that's when it just really kind of took off, because at 2 years up, you know, I'm in 8th grade, but my team is 10th grade.
Right.
And my team is all getting scouted. But then everyone's like, well, who is this skinny 8th grade kid playing with all these older kids, right? So I think honestly playing 2 years up kind of got me a little ahead of the curve. Got my first scholarship offers in 8th grade, which started everything really early. But it was fun. I loved it. Like playing basketball still to this day is like my favorite thing. I don't play very much, but just the game is so much fun.
Well, you were incredible. I saw some highlights from you. It's crazy how good you were. And so, I typically will ask somebody, I say, so why did you choose that university? But when it comes to University of Tennessee, there's no question. My question to you was, you put on that uniform, let's just say the first practice. You walk in this first practice, you look around this gym, you playing with all kind of All-Americans, other top 100 girls from around the country. You playing in the best conference. You got the spirit of Pat Summitt around there. You following in the footsteps of so many just dope legends. How surreal was that moment when you realized that I'm part of a tradition that is unlike anything else in college female basketball?
Yeah, it was crazy. And I mean, I committed to Tennessee as a sophomore in high school. So like my sophomore year, my junior year, my senior year, I was up there all the time. Like it was almost like I was on the team, but I wasn't on the team. And so to finally get there and be on the team, and we were Adidas at the time. So you're putting the shoes on and like you put the uniform on. And I just remember like almost crying, like being so overwhelmed. Like I'm here, like I cannot believe I'm here. And like we walk into the gym and just the practice facility and everything. And you're just, I mean, summer workouts were brutal. Like that was my first awakening, was doing summer workouts. I was like, wow, this is really hard. But that first practice when you're like really getting ready for the season and it's like 3 hours long and it's just, it was great. Like I look back on it and I'm like, I had so much fun, like being there.
All right. Well, as dope as you were on the court, I got the opportunity to study you in your new career. I know you. I read an article how you made the transition and all that stuff, and I want to talk about that story because I don't know why it just feels like it's kind of like the 6 degrees of separation almost. So this year, LaChina Robinson became part of the first all-female crew with the Atlanta Dream. You got your big break, and the first thing that LaChina said was, I remember her from playing basketball her days, and she gave you an opportunity at this boot camp. Did I read this correctly?
And you're talking about like Rising Media Stars?
Yes, the Rising Media Stars boot camp, and that's how you got your opportunity to grab the mic and do what you've been doing?
Yeah, so I mean, it started, so before that, I did like the online games at Tennessee. I was just like the analyst for ESPN Plus and ESPN3, like those games. It started there. But LaChina, it was funny, like being a part of Rising Media Stars, we just had a lot of talks. Like I remember I told her like, we practiced sideline reporting and I did sideline reporting for an Atlanta Dream game and I met a few different people and just she connected me to people. And I remember being like, yeah, I think I just want to do like women's basketball only. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but I just saw it in a very small scale, like what I was going to do. And LaChina was like, okay, like keep thinking that basically. And she just kind of broadened just my horizon and my eyes and things just, it's really crazy how like year after year, and ESPN's been great. They just let me try more things and do more things, and I try to be prepared, and every assignment do well so the next assignment comes, and it led to a multi-year contract this year, which was exciting. But yeah, it just kind of built like slowly but surely over time. I was telling someone the other day though, I have had so much support and people around me, like it almost would have been impossible for me to not do well, because I have so many people that I can reach out to and resources, and like everybody that I've worked with has been amazing. It's just almost been like just laid out for me, like, all right, Dre, you just do the work and make sure you do the work, and people are going to be around you. And that's what it's felt like.
Well, let's talk about that, because it's crazy watching you. I could probably study your work for hours. I mean, I could probably put in 100 hours watching your sideline commentating. And I kind of wanted to pick your brain about college basketball, but the show's about you and not your expertise. But it's crazy hearing you like break down the Final Four preview championship game with Ari McDonald and how you were calling it out. I was like, you sound like you've been doing this for 20 or 30 years. You sound better than a lot of other people out there who doing the mainstream thing. So let me ask you, what kind of preparation, like how hard was it for you to catch on? Were you just a natural? Did the competitive juices, or did you become that gym rat that you always been from them days back in Beaufort? Did you have that mentality going into this?
I think that was the mentality. Like early on, I just told myself, I'm going to study this and work at it like it's basketball. Like, in the gym extra, meaning watching film extra. And then I really took a lot of time to listen to the analysts that were at the top. How did they say something, or how did they phrase something? And sometimes I would maybe repeat what Kara Lawson said about, I don't know, whoever, Ray Allen. I would repeat the sentence, but say it with a player that I'm covering, right? So I'd be like, something like that. Like Ray Allen, wow, he just took a charge and he set his feet in the right way. I would maybe replace Ray Allen with Blair Schaefer, who was at Mississippi State at the time. And I'd say the same thing and like just try to feel it coming from me with people that I'm talking about. And so I did that for a while and just studied it. I just kind of was like, I can't play basketball anymore. But to feel like I'm working at something again, it just felt so good to feel like, oh, I can improve at something. I can get better at something. I can study something and perfect it, and still am. And it's just been so fun. Like, cause there's so many ways you can break down stuff. There's so many ways you can explain things. How can you do it where the people at home understand it? And as my kind of just fields that I'm covering, as that's grown, my studying and my preparation has grown. Like this season, I'm not just looking at the SEC teams. I've got an Excel document with the top 25 and then all the Power 5 conferences, and I'm just filling it in with thoughts. And as the season goes on, I'll fill it in with thoughts just in case I have to cover that team. So I have genuine thoughts about them. So it's been fun.
And I've already taken up more time than I was allotted. But this is my last question. First off, he ain't choking you out of that, huh? We good?
Oh no, he's good. Huh? I can put him up if he's distracting. This is all we do.
He good with me. He actually calming me down. I'm getting used to him a little bit, just slightly. Don't move him towards the camera though. Just keep him back there. We good. We good. Yeah. All right, but we are in, I almost want to call it a celebration of black women, especially black women in media. ESPN has done a great job promoting it. I mean, I can think of so many. We talked about you. We talked about LaChina Robinson, but that list goes on. The Maria Taylors, the Malika Andrews. The Taylor Rooks. And you guys are all just beautiful. You're super talented. Tell me what it means for you to be a part of that fraternity, and also what does it mean for you to have little colored girls all around the nation turning on their TV and seeing you represent the game of female basketball?
It's honestly amazing. It really feels like being on a team again. Like when I watch LaChina and Ross together calling these games, and Tiffany Green, and then they're in the studio and it's Christine Williamson and it's Monica McNutt. Like you could put all of us in a group chat and we just cheer for each other. Like it's insane, like how much we ride for each other. Like if Monica, like Monica's so busy, I'm like, hey, if you need a note on this team, I've got you. Or like I called Roz one day and just had a question. I was like, hey, how would you handle this situation? And she's like, oh girl, this. Like if you would have told me I would be talking to Ross Goldenwude like 3 years ago, I'd have been like, you're crazy. When she was a sideline reporter for the Warriors, I would just watch her and dream about doing what she's doing. And now I can just reach out and ask her, like, how open our group has been to helping each other and pulling each other up. It's been amazing. That's just one of the things I talk about when it's like, it's almost impossible to fail because you have so much support around you. And then I think about, you know, girls that are in, or women, young women that are in college, and they're like, hey, can I be with you on the sidelines? Like Kayla Wells, she's at Texas A&M. And I would do it for anybody, obviously, like no matter what they look like or what their background is. But I'm immediately like, oh yeah, like I'll show you everything because everybody above me has showed me everything. And so it's almost just like a chain reaction. Like everybody is just, this wave has helped this wave, and now I'm in this wave, and I'm going to help anybody else who wants to come. Right. And I always tell people, like, I don't have any answers because I'm still figuring it out, but I can share my experience, what's worked for me, what hasn't worked for me. And that's what LaChina and Ross and Monica, like when we were doing the NCAA tournament, Maria just spent time with me and Monica, and we just picked her brain. Like, oh, what's it like when you do, you know, what's first take like, or what's this like? What's this like? And she just answered everything. And it's amazing. It's a true gift. And it really does feel like, it feels like we're all sisters. Like we could all go on vacation together and hang out.
Your sister Roz, the mouth of the South, said hello.
Okay.
Shoot, her, Monica,
hey, Roz. Hey, Roz. Hey.
Right.
You got a fan. You got a fan.
Got it. Yeah. Yep.
Go drink some water.
I get it.
Drink some water and calm down, B. Jones.
Hey, I'm about to splash it over myself.
Whatever. So you mentioned sisters. So how hard is it to balance family and your career?
It's definitely hard. And it's honestly probably not something that I've got down just yet. Family, friends, you know, all of that stuff. It's so difficult because it's hard because it always feels like there's more work you can do, right? Like I have Ole Miss and Liberty coming up this weekend, and it's like, well, I could always be reading stuff or watching film or looking at stuff. And so for me, it's really finding a stopping point and prioritizing. Let me call my grandma, let me call my mom, and not while I'm on the phone with them, be thinking about work. That's kind of when it gets really difficult because you're like, man, I really want to talk to them, but what'd that coach say about the team that they're playing? You know, like it's just always kind of on your mind, especially just starting out, because I'm like, man, there's so much work to be done, or there's never enough information that I can have in my head. Let me study all the time. And so it's been finding a stopping point and prioritizing family, friendships, and that kind of stuff. But it's been hard. It was a little harder than I expected. Luckily, my family is just incredibly understanding. So hopefully they stay that way for a while as I figure out kind of navigating wanting to be great and also making sure they know that I love them and I'm here for them.
All right, so what is something that you learned from being an analyst that you can use outside of the studio?
Being an analyst to use outside of the studio. I think like quickly recognizing patterns, you know, like, you know, as an analyst, you're watching film and you're like, just really trying to pay attention to what's happening and thinking and processing and that kind of stuff has been helpful outside of life as I figure out patterns in my own life or figure out also just communicating. Like as an analyst, you have to say something in a way that makes sense, but that's not too long or that's not too drawn out. And so I think I've become a better communicator in just having to do work as an analyst because I can find the point quickly and say it. Maybe not on the podcast as I ramble, I say that. But you know, for the most part, just figuring out what's important and kind of getting right to it has been helpful. And then just relationships. I've made so many relationships doing analyst work that I feel like I can lean on outside of work as well.
All right, so Drea, this is the part of the show where I'm going to get in your business, okay?
Okay.
All right, so I know you've seen the movie Love and Basketball, correct?
Yes, I have.
All right, so we're going to pretend that you're Monica Wright.
Okay.
Is there a Quincy McCall in your life?
No.
And that's what it is.
And no, period. There's not.
No. And you just don't have time for it, or?
I think like as my career went like this, like some personal relationships went like this, which is, you know, could be a fault of my own. Just not a focus right now. I think it could be in the future, obviously. But for me, like, just getting this opportunity and it being my first contract and my first, like, grinding to get here, it was hard to maintain a relationship. And then now that I'm here, I'm like, well, I still got a lot more work to do. So it's just hard it's just difficult, so I've been focusing on just work and pouring into friendships and family, because those things are going to be there no matter what, right? Like, you start a relationship and then it ends and then you're all struggling, but like family, friends, like, they're going to ride for you no matter what. So as I've been in this journey of starting something, I just want people that are going to ride for me. So that's been it.
Okay, so I would let you make it, Drea, but I got to ask this.
There it is.
Anybody that sees you, they can see you're very attractive.
Boom.
Got it.
If there was a celebrity or athlete, I said celebrity or actor that if they slid in your DMs, it would be full go, who would it be?
Oh, man. If Rihanna slid into my DMs, I would drop everything and quit my career.
You got
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't quit my career. But that would be full go. That's about it, though. Anybody else, I'd be like, no, I got work to do. Leave me alone.
I don't even cook, but for Rihanna, I have my see-through apron on for that woman. All right, D Jones, I think it's time, man.
Well, Drea, you told us that you checked us out in the past, so I hope you're ready for this, because things are about to get a little bit nippy between me and Kevin.
Okay.
Welcome to the championship rounds. This is a part of the show, Drea, where you get to call all the shots. Have you ever played a game called Would You Rather?
Yes, I have.
All right, so the rules are simple. Both hosts will present an option to you. You select one of those hosts, which one of those options, whichever one is most applicable to you, and that host will gain a point. The first host to get 2 points, or the best out of 3, will win this episode's game, a championship rounds, and there's a lot of pride riding on this, Drea. So please think about your answers before you answer them. If you are following along with us, although there's been a very fun and wild season 1, there's been some controversy, there's been some recalls, but the score is now head coach KT 56 to the mouth of the South 48. So, Drea, you know what that means, right? I'm over here. I'm over singing right at the top. All right. You want me to go put my Peyton Manning jersey on?
Yes, you do.
You don't even have a Peyton Manning jersey. Stop playing.
If I do, it's too small. All right, Drea, here we go. Kevin, you are the defending champ.
Thank you, sir. So would you rather watch Serena Williams win at Wimbledon and have dinner with her and her sister after an interview, or
watch Michael Phelps in person at the Olympics and later have a sit-down interview with him on 60 Minutes?
I am a huge tennis fan and Serena Williams fan, so it would be Serena Williams for me.
All right.
Hey, Jones, I told you I'm a walking bucket, man. That's all I do. I see, man.
All right, see, brother.
All right, so round 2. Would you rather play 1-on-1 against Candace Parker or
play 1-on-1 against Tamika Catchings?
Oh my goodness. That's tough. That is brutal. I'd probably rather play catch. I'd rather play Tamika Catchings.
I was gonna say 𝐤𝐸𝐤𝐻𝐭. I was gonna say 𝐤𝐸𝐻𝐭, but I felt like Catches was a beast. All right, well, you didn't do yourself any favor, Dre. You could have let yourself off the hook with that last one, but now you got to go into the last round, and this is going to be for all the marbles. Here we go. Round number 3. Would you rather fast forward 10 years? Excuse me. Would you rather get a 30-second glimpse into the future and see what all you've accomplished, or
go back in time knowing what you know now and starting all over?
So with mine, you only get a 30-second glimpse into the future, but you're going to be able to see where you're going to be at and what you accomplished.
You know, mine, you can go back and just, any mistake that you made, you can kind of fix it.
Oh, that's tough. It's tough because there are some things I definitely am like, man, I could really change that come to my mind. But it's hard because I like where I am. Like I like exactly where I am, sitting here talking to you all about a dream career. Like, so I think really I'm like, I don't need to change anything because I am where I am and I know what I know now. So just give me 30 seconds. Let me see what I've got coming. Just give me 30 seconds.
Oh!
Sorry, head coach. Sorry, head coach.
We back at it. We back in here. Yes, the Mountain South, 49-56. That's probably my favorite win of all, Kev. You came out because you stole round one. So I was already against back. I needed to go 2 for 2 in order to close the show.
See, I got you're not used to winning, man. Come on,
Let me tell you something. Through her career, she made a living by having nothing but assists, no turnovers. And once again, Andraya Carter has done it again. She threw the assist, no turnovers. We in this thing. All right, Andraya, thank you for having fun with us. We appreciate that. All right, so now as we come to the setting sun, we can't go without talking about, the name of the show is You Got Next. So you got a bomb podcast. You doing all kind of crazy stuff out here. You on the sidelines. You in the booth. You in the studio. You modeling. I mean, I don't know if that's probably a list of way more stuff. You doing public speaking. So I mean, what does the future hold for you? What is next for Andraya Carter?
I think it's wild because I'm where I want to be, for now. And I think it's just growing in the spaces that I'm in, like with the fitness modeling, it's more contracts or it's more shoots and it's just getting better at what I do. Same thing with, analysis or sideline reporting, or, there's so many things I could hit harder, I could say better, or I could, there are questions that could be cleaner to ask the coaches, or maybe I asked a question, but that wasn't the most important thing in the first half. So I missed it, right? Covering different leagues, covering different players. I think I feel really, really lucky to be, it almost feels like being an athlete. I feel like I'm doing what I want to do. And I just have to get better and keep working and keep refining my skills to just have more opportunities, exactly where I am. So that's it. That's what's next. Just work, prepare, attack all my assignments, hopefully get more assignments. And then I do want to do something with kids with disabilities, or at some point take what I'm doing and really impact young people directly. So I think if anything were to change, it would be having a space where, whether it's through sign language or something, really making a direct impact on young people, because I think that's important.
Yeah, B. Jones, we didn't bring up the fact that she knows sign language.
What?
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
How did we miss that? See,
well, no, we didn't.
We got to go back and do
we
better
didn't miss
preparation.
it. No, if you go to YouTube, when she was at Tennessee, she was doing things like that.
Yes.
So you don't want to do the snake habitat though, huh? We gonna cancel that one?
He did make some trips to elementary schools while I was in Knoxville, for the kids' classes. He has made some appearances, but I think his impact is a little less than I want to make as far as impact goes with kids or kids with disabilities in that space.
All right, Andraya, so besides Instagram or Twitter, where can people find you?
7:00 on Wednesday nights, if you have the SEC network. I'm the co-host of Out of Pocket, as you can see. So that's 7:00 on Wednesdays. It also reruns, it reruns after that, and it reruns Thursdays, Fridays. I am, for the next, I guess, through football season and probably for a bowl game, every Saturday, I'm on some channel, on your TV. Someone told me there's a website where you can look up, who's calling what game, who the crews are. I had no idea. Yeah, I had no idea. I don't even know what it is, but there's
they got
a
that
website.
for TV personalities, and they got it for referees. If you want to know what crews on what specific game, just throw it in there and they'll tell you.
See, had no idea. So there's that. Every Saturday, I'm probably on sidelines of a football game. And then once basketball starts, hopefully I'll be probably in the studio on Thursdays. But SEC Network, ESPN, Twitter, Instagram, all those things.
All right, before I ask you about your shout outs, tell us how you came up with the costume for Marcus Spears.
So I've always loved Marcus. He's my guy. My cat is shaking the computer. Don't mind her. But Marcus is great. I watch NFL Live, especially since I started working for football. I just started watching NFL Live a lot just to hear them talk about football and there's the concepts and all those things. And so Alyssa said she was going to be Steve Spurrier, and I was just like, who can I be? And I Googled if there were any, like, you know, chin strap beard, and there was one at a store, and I glued the little mustache pieces, all the little hairs on my mustache, put a pillow in. I did ask for his blessing first, so I did call him. And I was like, hey, is it cool if I dress up and imitate you for Halloween? He was like, absolutely. So I got his blessing for it, and it was great. Worked on my accent and my Marcus Spears voice. And
yeah, what did you say? If the box is light, you got to run the ball? Is that what you said?
When the box is light, you run the football. Yes, 100%. He literally said that the day before, so it was fun.
Yeah. Marcus Spears, my guy. Short story. I went down to LSU. They had just won the national title, and Marcus was coming off the field. You know, they were signing autographs for everybody, and I had called. It was like the last little autograph. I ran up to Marcus. Now keep in mind, this 2003, so I'm like, I don't know, 20 years old. Marcus looked at me and was like, man, come on now. You know I got to do these kids first. And he ain't having like 5 minutes left. So tell Marcus Spears he owed me an autograph one of these days, man. If I see him out there in the streets, he gonna sign a hat or something for me. That's one of my favorite of all times. Well, listen, Andraya Carter.
Hold up, B. John. She got to give us a shout outs real quick. Oh, we don't have rap. We know we took a lot of time, but
my cat wants to make an appearance apparently.
Oh. Hey, we got
all the animals. We really have 3. There's another one sitting right here.
What's
now
I
just look
name?
Like. This is Riley, that's Remy. Now I just look like the single animal lady, but it's fine. Oh God.
So do you have any shout outs?
Well, shout out to Coach 𝐤𝐨𝐬𝐿 because she's the one who introduced me to you all, made the connection. So shout out to her. Definitely a good friend and a great coach. Shout out to Alyssa Lang because she's my co-host on Out of Pocket. Shout out to the entire women's basketball coverage crew, LaChina, Monica, Roz, like all the people that have just poured into me and been in my corner and helped me figure all of this out. It's really hard to go from an athlete to what is next, and it's a tough journey. And so just shout out to everybody that has been helpful in this process as I find a new love and a new career that's been great. And shout out to you too, because this was fun.
All right, thank you. Hey, gotta put you on the spot one more time.
All right,
we're family now. You've done the show. You're in our family, so you know we look out for each other. With that said, we need for you to help us find our next guest on our You Got Next series. So, Drea, who would you nominate? Yeah. All
right, I played against her at Texas A&M. She's super cool. Her clothing line is Live with Purpose. It's Chelsea Jennings. That's who I
love it. Dope.
Yep.
Chelsea Jennings, You Got Next. Drea, you are amazing. I still got the hairs on my arms. I'm just like, I'm a kid in a candy store right now. I'm on cloud 9. Hey, whatever the future holds for you, we got your back. You can count on these 2 brothers. Hey, we're going to be liking, subscribing, whatever you need us to do. We'll be on the scene. If I got to be security, be like, hey, clear the way for Andraya Carter. Hey, you can count on us to be there because Andraya Carter, You Got Next. Hey, before we get out here, Drea, what do you think Kevin needs to improve on? No, I'm just as a professional courtesy. No, I'm just messing with you. Hey, check this out. If y'all enjoyed the show, we appreciate it. Thank y'all for sticking around. Don't forget to like, subscribe. This is another invitation. Hey, tell us what your pet names will be and if you would have a snake. You know, tell us something crazy about yourself. Leave that in the comments. Let us know. Hey, tell us what you thought about me with the historic comeback in championship rounds. Oh my goodness. All right. Woo. Hey, tell them how much you like Roz too. All right, so if you want to hang out with me and Kev a little bit more, come after you get finished watching her show at 7 o'clock p.m. Central. Jump over to our YouTube channel because at 8 o'clock p.m. Central, me and Kev, we are rocking the mic. We going live Wednesday nights. All you got to do is smash that subscribe button and that bell. You'll be notified. But if not, come hang out. Come kick it with your boy. We talk about sports, life, sneakers. As you can see behind me, relationships, It don't matter. It's a no holds barred show. It's super funny, super fun. Great way to decompress and end your Wednesday night. And don't forget to share this, y'all. Somebody out there need to hear this story. There's somebody out there that would enjoy this 45 minutes worth of entertainment. They would take something from it and they will become a better person. And I'm holding you personally responsible to get that message to them. Kev, I'm on your head, bro. I know you feeling a little nervous right now. I'm creeping on you.
Dude, the series is over. Just stop it. Hey,
I'm just saying I'm coming. That's all I gotta say. I'm coming.
Leave me alone.
You're nervous. You're nervous.
Stop it.
Hey, you my brother. All right, Kev, I'll let you close the show, man. What you got to say, bro?
Drea, thank you so much. I remember watching you at Tennessee when you were a freshman. I remember watching you. Also, normally, you know, we like to send our guests a Sports Life Talk t-shirt. So we're going to send you a hoodie. But then I thought about it. I lost in championship round. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get one of my white tees, one of the right Sports Life Talk, and I'm going to send it to you, okay?
Oh, okay. That's cold blood. Hey, I got you a hoodie. I got you a hoodie coming, Dre.
Yes, I do love hoodies, so that's perfect.
Yeah, we got you.
Awesome. Well, thank y'all so much for having me. This was good. This was a lot of fun.
Hey, Sports Life Talk Nation, we love y'all. Stay safe, be blessed, respect each other, and love one another, because together we are better. And keep dreaming big, because you never know. Your story may be the next story featured on Sports Life Talks. You got next. Yeet!